Hey all, yes, let's begin with a new chapter, evolution process. Evolution is process is something we all are all the time excited, and there is a you know there's a longing to know more about it, from where we have come, how we this life has been designed, what is law of karma, and so many all the aspects. So, on this aspect, I would like to tell you first, before we begin in this evolution process chapter, I want to tell you all that everything is a theory. There never had been any proof scientifically or even or any other way, okay, any proof where we could actually say that yes, we have been evolved from that state to this state, right? We have been understanding everything at the closest theory. One is Big Bang theory and one is a Darwin theory, right? Very closely we have been coming and understanding the funda, this concept of soul and its evolution, everything on the basis of these two theories. And now when we are talking about a theory, we are not talking about its happening, its reality, its facts. Okay, theory means we all know, we all understand that word. Theory means it is an understanding. Okay, and these two theories, whether it is Big Bang or Darwin's theory, has been the closest to one which we could relate and understand. Yes, this is how it is. Okay, so if you want to believe that yeah, it is true, we have been come, then it's a truth for you. If you want to understand it as a theory and put it at the ground reality and how to apply it so that we grow and don't fall back, okay, that's also we have all the freedom to do that, right? So now let's begin with the evolution process. I'll give you a little understanding about it, about few words here. We have been hearing to the word soul, right? So everyone has a different kind of image in their minds the minute they listen to the word soul. they some people have the understanding of an image. They connect to the image of very light, a human kind of a body with very, the all that which matches with the word, all the images which match with the word divine. Okay, very pure. Every image you have in your mind relating to, when it come when whenever you hear the word divine, purity, innocence, all these words. Okay, so we all have our own image when it comes to the soul, unless it is a horror movie. Okay, so yeah, unless you're leading a life of a horror horrified, then that's a different thing. But otherwise, we all have, see, in those cases also we have an image based on our fears. We have an image based on our perception of a theory, of an understanding of some intellectual process inside our brains. We have a image. So based on, let us get back to Big Bang theory. When we're talking about Big Bang theory, we all have, as per the theory, Big Bang theory, we all have, and the explosion is all, first is explosion is always happening in the universe. Okay, and it is not like, you can have a switch over here or you can have a control power over here. Okay, it is uncontrollable and unstoppable, right? It is continuously happening. Now in this explosion, there are the sparks which are coming out, obviously, right? From where these sparks are coming, how are the, I think not where, but how are these sparks coming out, right? We all understand that these sparks are coming from the whole light, right? We call it as source, we call it as all that is and all. But when, as an experience, when few of us, when we could travel, even from our ancient times, when we could travel more deeper and deeper, we crossed the layers of mind, emotions, matter, and many, all the entire all the images the mind could access, right? Mind can not only access whatever information images, not only of whatever you hold information about your life and your experience and your understanding, your perspectives, perceptions, everything. Okay, mind has the capacity to access even beyond, because mind has been there all the time. Okay, because how it has been there, it has been in the form of consciousness. I'll give you the example of understanding this even more in a simple way. Say you went to a home, and before you entered that place, maybe your friend's place or anything, there was a very strong fight has happened there. Okay, and by the time you went, everything got resolved, everything is clear and fine, and they are all again feeling very happy and just being very in their own calm. You enter the space, you sit there, within no time you start sensing something not comfortable. Why so? Okay, you didn't know that there was a fight happened there. Nobody is behaving very rude or very serious, or in any kind of manner where you can even understand that there's a fight, but you feel the difference. Okay, your logical mind can give any kind of example on this. Okay, your logical mind can say, because your logical mind always needs a reason for whatever you think, just to put you in the right phase. Okay, just to think that oh, I am right, I know everything. For this satisfaction of this part, your logical mind will always say something or the other. But then when you get into this, you know that there's something not right. Okay, then you sit very calmly, where you talk, you understand everything, you like conversation happens, communication happens, and all the laugh, jovial thing, everything will happen. You might not asking, even not pointing out everything, but you come back. Okay, but somewhere that before you went there, something happened. Maybe they were not wanting to tell you, or they were maybe probably hiding something from you. Okay, you in the sense, not particularly you, but something from they don't want to explore, or maybe something very personal, right? How are we knowing this? How are though the logical mind might be giving n number of reasons, how are we knowing it? How are we sensing it? Through our senses, right? Through our physical senses we are able to sense it. The same way, when we are talking about, we from the consciousness, the great ball of light, the source of energy, from that point, when all the explosion is happening, we all have come as a particular creating, in the evolution process. See, evolution process, we have been coming in the generation to generation, or you can call it from time, we have been growing in that, right? So what is the soul here? When we are talking about soul, we are talking about, now we are not talking about the images, we just talked about it. We are not talking about the images where you are thinking, you have been given by all kinds of medias from us, from our own surroundings, or whoever we interact. Okay, we just have some information of that image, right? It is beyond all this. When we are talking about a soul, we are talking about something which has got purpose, right? We are talking soul as, now I understand in my own experiences and in my own understanding on this journey, when I try to understand in a very, though beyond logical way, along with the logical mind putting into it. Okay, keeping myself well grounded, and not going into a some irrational kind of a thing. Oh, once there lived somebody, and he started there was a goddess or god in that. I'm not talking about all that. Okay, let us understand one simple statement. Maybe a singer, when you listen to a music, okay, if you are a music lover, you would understand this. Okay, when you listen to a music, you find some music not that very catching, you don't really move to it. But when it comes to some particular music, you feel, oh wow, this music is awesome. who did this, who made this, who created this, or who sang the song, from where this person is. Okay, you try to explore more. Okay, that means the musician, the music inside a image has reached something inside you, and this something you know much better than anyone else. What happened? Just get to the point, get to that moment, get into that memory, and understand what happened. What is that which made me said inside me that this music is awesome? Some might feel so, overwhelming. Some might, flood the joy of tears of joy from eyes when you listen to a music. What is that which hit? Right? You liked it from heart. Then you say, then you start exploring about, that musician, that singer, or whomever, you liked it more. From where this person is, what was his background, what was his life altogether. Now, what do he do apart from where all he did more musics like this, or singing, or whatever, did like this. You get into it. What has happened in that? You don't know the person, you don't know about anything about music, maybe in this, whatever you know. Now, don't get into the illusionary theories like, oh, maybe in my previous incarnation I liked music, I learned music, and it was so nice. This music has triggered me to my past. Baseless. Absolutely baseless. Don't get into that. Just understand what happened at that moment. What happened? What made you inside? Just close your eyes and ask yourself, how am I liking this song? This song, whatever I'm hearing now, which I'm labeling as, pointing as, judging as, or holding an opinion as, it's such a beautiful one. This person's voice is so beautiful. What is happening? From inside, there is a vibration which is created. So, that sound in a particular frequency has touched a particular frequency inside you. Right? So, the person who has been performing that action as a singer or as a musician was doing it from his or her inner rhythm. Right? So from inside, why do we say that, I am, if you love a person, why do you say I've given my heart to him? Why not legs and hands? Why only heart? Because heart is a place which vibrates, which, that throbs. Right? You have an understanding. Do you have an image of what it means when you say that, my heart throbs for a person? Do you have any image for that? No, you go formless. Right? And when you say, oh my God, this is so soothing, do you know what? Do you hold any image which matches the word soothing? No. So you are connecting something beyond. You are connecting something which is formless, some frequency which is formless. So the soul is all about that. When you're talking about soul, when we, even in my own experiences of in more than 25 years of my meditation practice experiences, when even I connected, or many of us, even from the previous saints or rishis or whomever, they have put into this words, this entire system has come up of meditation practice and reaching to the consciousness, and all these words have come up. They all have reached a point where everyone has become still. Everyone has reached formless. So every word is coming from that state of being formless. Right? So from that formless, the all the accumulation of the dissolved energy or dissolved state, like all that has come into one form, creating a ball of light. Okay? And now, if you really ask me, how do I know that the dissolved one has come into the light? Just don't believe it. Okay? I will say, okay, I am also feeling it. I could sense it. I understood it in that way. You don't have to understand in the same way. Okay, absolutely fine. You don't have to understand. I'm only asking you to understand that from the nothingness has come something, has evolved something. So the formless and the form are both have become the same, because the form is an outcome of that formless, right? This whole, what we are seeing, has come from that whole, right? So we know that from this was the place where we all are able to connect, the form which the formless has bought into a system of its own form, has connected. When we could connect it, from there this explosion has been happening. So the sparks have been coming out at every explosion, right? Now every spark is the part of the intelligence of that whole, right? Every spark is holding some intelligence, some understanding, some creation, something or the other. You can understand that it might be holding a little, it's like a ocean, and even the droplet of that ocean. So every spark is like the droplet of the ocean. So it is also holding the same information. Even the droplet also is holding the same information and same capabilities and same potential, just as the ocean does, right? So we all, when the sparks, when we connect, so every spark, when we are talking about it, had a purpose of further creating something or expressing itself. Okay, and it is not thinking that, oh, now I have come, I have to express myself. No, it is not thinking, it's just walking. See that when you see even a tree, a seed has been sown, and the seed will do its work. It will not say, oh, let me see myself, how I actually look, and it will not start growing. It is a natural process of the seed to grow, right? At the right, with the right, when it is becoming visible, the growth is becoming visible when the right amount of components or the elements are coordinated together, right? If you take a seed and put it in on a table, will it grow? No, it will not grow, right? So you have to put it in the soil, in the proper place, and you're not digging 2 feet or 3 feet or 10 feet below and just putting the seed. You're just loosening the mud over there and just putting the seed, right? And then you're pouring water, the rains are flowing, water is happening, photosynthesis, we all know from the sun. Everything is the process in its own process. No one is externally doing anything. The many plants we see, they're just grown from where and all grown. It's a natural process. The same way, the spark, the purpose of that seed is to, when all the elements are coordinated and cooperation, with the cooperation of all the elements, it is taking its own shape. Okay, it is taking its own shape. Now when we talk about the soul as a spark of that all in all and all that is, we are talking about the same intelligence which is there in that creation also, right? We are talking about the same thing, right? So the same intelligence as a spark is flowing and moving ahead in its own process of creation. So there was nothing called mind also, right? There was never a mind. There was no form, so there was no mind. So what are we when we look at ourselves? We are not the body, not the matter, and we are not the mind also. We are just witnessing our own evolution process, right? So that is called soul, right? Because it is moving as per its purpose, right? Purpose is not something where we put in our mind, program it, have a strategy, and then flow it, like do a webinar, tell your do your program, and then there's all this these days, however it happening, whatever the workshops or whatever things we all do, it's a social media process. No, it's not like that, right? So this is the all that sparks as sparks, because there was a reason, there was a purpose in every spark of its own, witnessing its own, moving ahead and taking its own form. That is called, the purpose itself is called soul. Soul is nothing to do with what the images you hold in your mind, based on whatever you have perceived in the form of information, right? We need to understand that aspect, right? Now, when we are talking about in this grand oneness of this source, okay, the explosion was there, and through the explosion, we have been coming across as a tiny sparks, which had a purpose, and that we labeled as a soul, right? And now, at the time of explosion, at every explosion, there are many sparks which are coming up, right? So it is not a plan, or no purpose is choosing and talking to every other sparks which have come out of that explosion together and trying to help. They all are holding, because at the one explosion it has happened, they all the sparks held the same kind of information. Okay, so we all know all feathers flock together. We know this funda, right? All this in the first stage, when we have come and put ourselves as that sparks, when we come into the space called earth, which had all the elements, right? Which is called, there was prana, the life force energy which was there, right? Because there was water also, there was a sun, the sun is also there, earth is also there, air was also there, everything was there, all the five elements were there, right? So the life could emerge here, right? So it is, earth happens to be that plane, right? And all have emerged, every spark has come as a mineral only first, right? Initially there was only a mineral and nothing else, right? And it was only after the mineral, there was slowly rocks or minerals or whatever, after that only we came into the point of plant kingdom. So we all, as that spark which had a soul in it, an intelligence in it, a purpose in it, I think this is more good, right? Purpose in it has created, landed as a mineral. It has turned out to be a mineral, right? And then from the mineral, because of the other elements also were available, a plant grew. So then emerged a plant kingdom. And from the plant kingdom, because there was mineral kingdom also, there was plant kingdom also, now came the animal kingdom. Animal kingdom, we call it as, whether we talk about, what do you call, insect, or from insect to fly, or anything, from all the animals, whatever we know, right? Everything has come, right? And then from there emerged finally as humans. Here comes the Darwin theory, okay? Because Darwin theory has proved, these two theories have proved in such a, because they have been the closest one to explain the evolution process of a humankind. These two theories have been the closest one. So we hold on to these theories and we move on, okay? But however, in spite of being so closest and all, we can't really have any proof that yes, this theory was absolutely right. We are just taking these theories ahead and moving on, because we have no clue, okay? Maybe it was right, okay? Maybe it was something else, but this you can't prove, okay? As of, even as of now situation also, in spite of all the technical things, this remained the same, okay? So It is understood that once the human forms are there, it is not like we humans have chosen this earth plane to learn our lessons or anything. It was the process of the evolution. Very naturally, we came out into this form. Okay, we have not come here to learn our lessons, or we have come with an agenda. We have come here, and you have not come here with an agenda. In this process, how can you say, you have an idea that, in this process with the Big Bang theory, if we are going with the Big Bang theory, we have come across and come into the so that spark, it's evolved into being a mineral to plant, plant to animal, animal to human. How is that we have chosen? Right, it is no choice. This is nothing to do with choice. Whenever you are saying humans, we have chosen this earthly experience. Whenever you are giving this statement, it shows that you are a mind. You are not beyond mind. You are proving that you are within the limitations of mind only. But what the truth is all about, we are beyond mind, right? And now, related to, we have not come here to understand, learn any lessons related to pain or suffering, or after all the thing, we have come here to learn what is pain, what is thing. No, it has happened in the process, because these things have come at the later because after the Darwin theory, when from the animal, when humans have started, like from monkey or the great ape, whatever we say, from there, when we started coming out, it was the intellectual evolution. Begins in two ways. One is at the physical level, and next is second is at the psychological level. So physical level, we have no hold on anything. We were just moving on. Just as a seed begins to grow as a huge tree, it was just happening. Right? Now, when after becoming the completely human, now we have been before human era, human kingdom was born, we were like, if we are considering ourselves as animals, then at animals also we had something to think. From there, the mind started, but it was very basic. Like, I eat, like hunting process. I'm eating and I'm sleeping. These two things were there. Okay, you eat and sleep and you do nothing. Right? That was a state. Brains could work only to that level. Beyond that, there was nothing for any brains to either protecting themselves or hunting something. This was the thing. You eat and sleep. These were the basic survival things which had, right? But now, after coming as a human body, into the human body with this two legs and two hands and one, now the brains are reaching at the top. Now, the brains are not towards earth. Till the animal kingdom, all the brains are towards the earth, down. Right? Now it was like this. Now slowly, from animal, you are the person is it is taking a human form. The brains are towards up. Right? So now the psychological evolution was processing. Right? At the physical level, once the evolution has happened, now at the psychological level it has happened. Right? It has begun. Now how it felt, like related to whatever it was, from who am I to again who am I, and again who am I, this one question has begun the search through the same question and till the same question. Everything began with this question, who am I? It's only at the last stages of our psychological evolution we understand, who am I? And once we understand that, there will be, trust me, there will be nothing. We will be laughing at our own processes, where whenever we got angry, we got jealous, we got irritated, we got frustrated, we were trying to compete with others. All this, we are trying to make so many strategies, and all the technology what we have created, everything, we are going to smile at it. We are going to maybe laugh at it and smile at it and forget about it. Okay? So this is going to happen. One day or the other, this is going to happen. So we have to understand, in this between time, from who am I? The search has begun. Psychologically, man started moving it, and it has gone beyond till this, right? So, in this stage, the wisdom was moving on because psychologically the human mind started growing and psychologically the evolution has begun. At the physical level, evolution is done, and now at the psychological level, the everything was going into a point at to the understanding level. Now, initially, what happened? Initially, let us say we were like infants, infant souls. Okay. Again, I want, whenever I say the word soul, I want you all to come out of those images which you were in, if any, holding. I want you all to just understand when I'm saying infant soul, understand the purpose of it. Okay, purpose of it to just witness and move on and nothing else, and just see, witness whatever was happening. Beyond that, nothing. There was no agenda, no choice, no thought, nothing. Okay. So when we are talking about infant souls at the beginning, when when you started understanding, when the query has began, at the physical level, you saw, who am I was walking through four legs. Now why am I walking at two legs? Maybe this was the first thought which might have happened. It's just my imagination which I'm saying, this might have come into the thing. Now it feels like, what happens, what might have happened, might have got disoriented initially, understanding, not knowing what to do, how to think, what to think, so disorientation. And because there's no experience as this two legs animal, absolutely no experience, it's just eating and sleeping. So many things were now, even the animals which were there walking on four legs, for them also this two legs animal had become very a threat. So there was as a struggle for survival, right? Imagine what would have happened, like, you're just there. We all know how it is. If you go into a deep jungle and start living along with the animals, can we be even today? It was not possible, because animals are not used to, the four-legged animals are not used to live with this two-leg animal. Okay, for them it is completely different. But the places where all the four legs and two legs are living happily, they're really living happily. Okay, I was surprised to see some places where all the deers, and of course we know that, how monkeys also be there, right? Unless they're used to it, is so difficult, right? So initially, when the first early man has checked himself, and how much threat it would have been, how much struggle for the survival would have been for him at that point of time psychologically, right? And now, because it is a very primitive conditions, to that's the reason, why we feel sometimes, we feel very close to forest, we want to live in mountains, we want to go into a deep jungle and be there. We feel so comfortable because we are connecting to our deepest roots of our own intelligence. Okay, in this, what happens is you sharpen your abilities, your survival skills, all this happens, right? And now, after this stage, we have come to a stage of baby souls. Again, soul, I repeat, just a purpose, it's just witnessing state, right? As a baby, how we have been doing. So many times, probably, as so much of time might have gone into that state to understand, to come to this state. Okay. As per reincarnation, they say, after many reincarnations, after several reincarnations, from infant soul, the soul moves to the next stage called baby soul. Okay. I have also shared you the notes exactly like this, but in my explanation, I want to really make you understand that this is just the general notes what I have shared, but this is the actually the deepest essence behind the notes. Okay, what I'm sharing it right now. So it is like, from that stage to this stage, we might have already dealt with so much of survival issues, right? It is like, now we don't feel that, the world around us is not that scary, it can be handled, right? We might have for sure come to that stage. And now we need a structured one. What time should I sleep? What is called a hunger? What happens inside my body? That's when I crave for food. What happens inside my body? That's when I crave for sleep. Right? What's happening in my body? That's when I'm wanting sex. Right? All these things. How are we understanding in those? So everything has to be structured now. So in this level, what is happening? Discipline is becoming the hallmark. Right? It is like, if I don't do it properly, I will not understand. I will not be able to differentiate myself. Why the need of differentiation? There was no need for differentiation from animals to you. This, four-leg animal to two-leg animal. There was no differentiation. It was not that, need or, wanting to or anything. Because the brain started thinking. Right? That was a time brain started thinking, because it is not like this now, it is towards the sky. The heads are towards the sky. Earlier, the heads were towards the ground, so everything was, survival. That's just survival. How I'm going to be rule on this ground, right? So it later on, when it started growing towards the sky, now brain started thinking something different. Every thought process was totally different, right? So in this, like, make them, it is like now here, because of the discipline was the hallmark. Now we have brought into some systems like discipline, soldiers kind of a thing. Everything has to happen on its own time. You can't just eat whenever you want, you can't just sleep whenever you want. There was a structure which has come into, right? Now after that, after doing it, at this time only I will eat, at this time only I will sleep, and what about the other time? Okay, now I have, as a human body, I have understood, because of my brain intellectually growing, evolving, I have understood that yes, this is the time to eat and this is the time to sleep. And now, well, structure, survival, discipline, civilization, everything was coming into a picture. And now the stage of coming, yes, I can live, independence was coming up. So I can live myself. I can earn my food. I can earn my livelihood. Okay, I can sleep. I'm able to understand what is my sleep. I'm able to understand my body sensations. Now, slowly, a human mind started feeling power. Okay, so all the striving for attaining the positions of power, wealth, and everything started coming in. Okay, this is the young soul state where you grow point to point. The evolution happened point to point, right? All business tycoons or religious cult leaders, or even the cult leaders, everyone come into this point where you hold some power inside, where you hold some power inside. Yes, yeah, I go little more about the statement. Yes, we do hold power. That power is actually witnessing the growth of its own in the evolution process. Okay, so this is happening, but this was the stage as a young witness, the purpose that was witnessing its own growth as a young soul is now trying to make all the domination system, right? Now it is constantly striving for attaining possessions. Okay, whatever I can possess, these are my people, these are my family, this is my condition, this is my system. Okay, in this system, this is my cult. Okay, all these things were happening, right? We might have seen many places like this, whether it's in your spiritual path or business or anywhere. Dictators everywhere, you're dictating, this is how it is, this is how it is. Okay, we are moving into all those aspects. As a young soul, this was the happening. And next came into the next stage was being little mature. In this, again began the story of who am I. Okay, but this who am I was different from what was the question previously, right? Because you are evolving at the beginning stage of your our evolution, a human body, human mind thought, who am I? Okay, who am I? What is happening to my body? So everything was very physical, understanding everything at the survival, at the physical, at the matter point. And now at this stage, everything has been chased, power has been chased, wealth has been accumulated, every positions, achievements, everything has happened. And now started thinking, who am I? Because everything is getting bored now. If you take yourself as of now also, once you attain everything, like maybe you have a mansion, or you have a country all by yourself, and you have everyone loving you like anything, bowing down to you all the time, just following whatever you say. After that, what will you do? You begin to start getting bored, don't you? Initially it might feel very good because it's satisfying somewhere, the ego, the mind. Okay, I will not say ego, I'll say rather mind. Okay, so it might be satisfying, but still after some time you might feel, oh, I don't want this, I'm so bored. Everyone saying thank you, and everyone say, oh my god, all this, it's going to be very bored. I would say, who am I? Why all are these people are saying so good about me? Why are they are always in awe of me? This question will come. Again, the question comes, who am I? And why am I here? I have achieved everything for myself. If you get into your authentic check of your own self, you will start thinking your brains knows everything, because your mind knows every truth of your own evolution. It can tell you that yes, I wanted to live very happily, very comfortably. That's when I earned money. And for that, I had to be like this with some kind of attitudes and qualities of my own personality traits. I did it. Okay, I did all this. Because of all these things, I have achieved everything. So why these people are so in awe of me? Okay, who am I? And why am I here with all into this system? Right? These questions starts. It's like now every person, every other human feels like a mirror for us, because authentically, as a truth inside you knows what actually the person is showing to you in the form of reflection, right? So this comes now is coming to the point of understanding who am I in a whole different perspectives, right? Now it is the most emotionally intense kind of state, because the approach is like it is to be unaffected by any action from either other side or yourself. Your actions, it's like there are no, it is towards no complex relationships. So initially everything has got complex, everything is like oh, these are my people, my this thing, my that, all my was thinking. Now then the question hits your psyche, that who am I? Right? So all this, I'm anyhow not going to take all this. Then who am I? If I'm not in a state to take what I've earned, then what am I doing here? Why have I wasted my entire lifetime just doing this, just earning, filling my bank balance, and running behind something or the other? Why am I doing it? Right? Who am I? Again, the question there when it starts. Now because you have understood, you have begun your journey again to a medium space of understanding who am I at the mind level. At the physical level, you have understood what you are. You are eating, you are sleeping, you are all the necessities, everything. Now at the intellectual level, at the mind level, you need to understand who am I. So mature level is coming into that aspect, right? Now coming into the old soul. As an old soul, as you grow, understanding every other person is actually reflecting something or the other of mine. everyone is a mirror, then you understood at this stage slowly that how I have come, you have also come in the same way. If I have come here to share this knowledge to you, you have also come here to listen to this knowledge, and that's when it's a cooperation. Unless you are not there, I have no other work here. Okay? Unless I am there, your work will be totally in a different way. Right? So it's a mutual understanding. So it's reflection. You all reflect what I have learned so far, what I have understood about myself so far. Okay? And whatever you are listening from me, it is going to be like a reminder, like a knock for where you have reached so far. Right? Old soul, that's the reason every old soul holds the same respect to self also and to all the forms. And it is not possible for an old soul to harm anyone, because they end up being very, how can you judge a person who you know that they're reflecting, they're just like a mirror to yourself? Can you harm the person inside the mirror when you stand in front of the mirror? Can you do that? It is not possible. You can only harm that person inside the mirror when that person comes outside and it is totally different from what you are. But inside the mirror, you can't do that. So when you have a realization that everyone is actually mirroring something or the other of me only, it is not possible for you to hold any judgment or any opinion on anybody else. Right? So there is a attempt for personal integrity. Right? Now here, you don't force your point of view on others' heads. Right? It is not possible. Now coming to the transcendental soul. Transcendental soul is when you have understood entirely, thoroughly, asked yourself, questioned yourself 101 times, what am I? Who am I? Okay, I was like, as per Darwin's theory, as I was a four-legged animal and now became two-legged animal. And since then I've started thinking why the difference, because I started seeing the four legs and two legs as a separate entity. And now I started understanding, because I could not understand the variations of two legs and four legs. So I started growing. I started understanding. I went into a research of self, realization of self into the same system. You're realizing yourself and grew and understood to a point. You came to the point as the process of understanding and realizing, you came to the point of, there are so many things we need to understand. So everyone is the same, whether it is a animal or plant or the mineral, okay, and any other human, all are same. Everyone has come with the same process of understanding self, from the same question of who am I at the material level, at the matter level, and again the same question of who am I at the mind level and emotional level. Okay, now here again it goes into the point of who am I? Okay, if I am not the body, if I am not the mind, then who am I? Transcendental soul understands, and the stage of a transcendental soul is all understanding everything psychologically, witnessing everything through your mind, your entire evolution process. Right? So that you also help your fellow beings in understanding all this. This is transcendental soul. And now from there comes to the infinite soul. Infinite souls are like, they understand that we all are one. There's absolutely no difference. We all are the same sparks of the same source. We all are, once we are united, we become the same source. Right? Everyone talking the same things of whatever one leader has told, so the leader is becoming more powerful. Right? The leader is becoming the source of all that, whatever human psychological understand is. But actually it is again at the intermediate level, at at the stage of human mind. But when you really grow beyond this mind, you have nothing to teach here and you have nothing to learn here other than just witness whatever is happening. Okay, it's not that you don't have a power or you don't have anything, because your brains are there. You can definitely change how to live and how to do. It is because to understand in this process, in this entire journey from all the kingdoms, mineral kingdom to human kingdom, and then the a higher psychological evolution, we might have got corrupted, we might have got manipulated, we might have got lost our innocence, we might have got ignorant. So to correct all these things and put ourselves into a proper system has become the main agenda. So that's what in Infinite Souls work has become. The purpose of Infinite Soul, I'm talking about the same infinite personality. The quality is to make everyone remind that you are that droplet of the same ocean. Just because you are in a drop form, that does not mean you are not an ocean. Collectively, when all the droplets are united together, you again become a ocean. The same power what ocean held. Right? So this is what we create in when we talk about the infinite souls. So entire universe is, it's like encompassed in that one body. All sparks, whatever we call, everything is out of that nothingness only. Right? From that formless has emerged one form, and from that one form, because of the Big Bang theory and the explosion and all these things have come. And then the Darwin theory took us into a different version of understanding our own evolution process at the psychological level. Okay, so this is beautiful. This is really, whenever I share this experience, it transports me somewhere. So I'm sure you might have liked this essence. Any doubts further, because I know this is a very complicated topic and not that very easy to get into, but still I would love to have some more time to clear, and any doubts, please do share in your message so that I can clear the doubts, or we can just meet once whenever you feel like. We can just meet and then we can have more clarity on this. Okay, and now from the next video, please share in this video, share your takeaways, your any further doubts or your clarity, your insights, whatever you want to share, your experiences, everything you can share here. And let's go to the next video. From the next video, we are going to do a self introspective program. Okay, again the 7 days journey, we are going to have the journey through the stages, through the same soul stages. We are going to have the self introspective program. Okay, so see you guys, see you in here. Don't just skip off not sharing your insights or anything. Please do share your insights and your doubts or anything, whatever you feel like sharing your experiences in this. And let's get to the next video.